What's going on? This your dog, Artband. And we're back with another boxing conversation. Ah, I'm back, man. I just had a long day. Work. I really be going on live because I really don't like smoking by myself. I'd rather talk to y'all than rather just be in the crib just smoking by myself. So I'd rather just talk to y'all real quick. Yeah. But hold on. Let me roll my shit up. I really just be having it as a session. I'm just smoking and just talking about what's popping up on my fucking mind. And plus, I'm getting paid to talk on this YouTube shit, so might as well smoke and get paid. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Might as well talk about boxing and get paid to do it. So yeah, let's do that. Um, Ryan Garcia. I made a post on Twitter or X, and that shit's starting to go a little viral a little bit because I'm like, man, wait, what's up with this guy? All of a sudden, he's just not crazy anymore. He's just not on the fucking drugs no more. So he's just fine. You know what I'm saying? He's not screaming on the microphone. Yeah, man. Like now it's just starting to add up because you can run game on these guys on the net. She ain't running game on Art, man. I run game, so you ain't no running game on me. I can peep that shit from a mile away. Now all of a sudden, niggas is normal. No more screaming in the microphone. No, none of that shit. Shout out to my dude, Southwest. He said seems to be off the juice. He looking slow. Ain't he looking slow? Look, you would you would think he on the pads looking crazy. You looking good. You know what I'm saying? Throwing the fast left hook. Nigga ain't looking like none of that. He ain't looking like none of that. He's looking real normal. So, and he acted normal. So it's like, man, the whole him being on peds and him trying to deny it, it's not adding up because now niggas is looking at it like, wait, what changed? Oh, we know what's changed. Nigga, you got caught. Now he tapering off the fucking juice, man. That shit's crazy as hell. Nigga went from screaming. Oh yeah, my dude said free the kids. What happened to free the kids? Where the kids at? Where's the where's the kids? Where's the kids, bro? I thought he was saving the kids. Man, a lot of shit just not adding up, man. A lot of shit ain't adding up, dog. The Ryan Garcia fans. Bro, I just been laughing, bro. People got this weird misconception about me. They think that I just be in the house angry and just so mad at Ryan Garcia and want to punch the wall and shit like that. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about Ryan Garcia like that. I just like calling out the bullshit because it's interesting. Like to see people lie and bullshit. Nah. Hey, my dude KBG, he just sent me some funny ass shit. I didn't even peep this. I didn't even fucking peep this shit, dog. Oh, I'm about to post this shit right now. Shit funny as hell. Uh, hey, this is some funny ass shit, bro. I didn't even peep that. Yo, I just had to post that, my guy. Thank you for showing that shit to me, dog. That is some funny ass shit. Turkey funny as hell. Cause at first I thought Turkey was just trying to throw shots at Dev, cause Dev's supposed to be the lawyer or whatever. But then the fact that they got this nigga talk about they got big beef in this Ostarine fee, that is some funny ass shit. Now all of a sudden he's not crazy. Oh, you couldn't hear me at first? Yeah, this shit was tweaking. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Yeah, this shit was tweaking. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Why my shit so fucking close? Okay, good. So yeah, they're gonna act like it's just the peds ain't do nothing for a man. This nigga, hold on, can y'all hear me now? Now let me check my sound. I don't know. YouTube saying y'all can hear me now. Says salute to the art man. Shout out to you, man. Oh, let me see. If I can hear. I gotta click on this video myself to see if know what the fuck is going on. Okay, yeah. Niggas can hear me. But yeah, now all of a sudden he's a saint and he's a good Christian again, and niggas ain't on the drugs no more. And you notice that they're trying to spin it as, oh, he was just drinking. He was just drinking and smoking. That's why he was acting like that. Bro, come on, man. I smoke weed damn near every day, man. Stop it. Ain't no weed, ain't no strain had me acting crazy like that. I ain't never smoked no strain that had me motherfucker going crazy like that. Not at all. Niggas in my comment section really think I'm stupid or something. Then somebody said that, well, the drug test is questionable. Nigga, ain't no fucking questionable, dumbass nigga. Said, did Osprey Boy say the kids yet? No, he ain't say no fucking kids, man. Of course he didn't say no fucking kids, man. He's a liar. He's a full of shit liar. Man, that's just funny as hell, though. But look, you can see the play. They want him to fight, or they have him signed up to fight Ramiro. And we all know Ramiro, he's down there, he's looking kind of washed. Because he already been stopped several times or whatever. And they know his defense is shitty. So they're thinking Ryan Garcia's gonna go in there and just knock him out and still look good and all that shit. That could happen. But what if he goes in there and he looks motherfucking not so good? Then what? Man, them odds for Haney versus Garcia is gonna be so crazy if Ryan Garcia goes in there and look crazy against motherfucking. If he goes in there looking crazy as shit, they're gonna be looking like, man. Yeah, he says crazy. No one presses right about Pence or how I got in the system. That's what I'm saying. Nobody. That's why I cannot be in the media. I can't be a part of the media. I can't be. This is why I just be on here smoking weed, talking boxing with y'all, because I can't be in the media. Because the minute I start asking questions like that, then they'll try to blackball me. Then I don't have a job in the media no more. It's that simple. Because it's so easy to point this shit out. So what happened? What the fuck happened? Now that it's proven, you can't refute the fact that it's in your system. You can't refute it. So how did it get in your system? But shout out to the guy, Doc.
What's up, bro?
Shit, we're just talking about, some performance enhancing drugs and how Ryan Garcia's looking noticeably different these days.
As far as what, like physique wise?
Physique wise, as it mental health wise, as it just, I mean, totally different from the first fight.
All right. I'm gonna tell you what I think from two different angles, right? You remember that betting line for that fight?
Yeah, I do. The first one.
Yeah, the Garcia.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember the difference from where it opened to where it closed?
Nah,
Okay.
I didn't peep when it first opened.
All right. It opened at minus 450 Haney, plus 300 Garcia. That line closed at plus 700 Garcia when he, went nuts, right? When he was doing all that dumb shit in the pre-workouts,
Mm-hmm.
right? He placed a bet on himself at plus 700, right? There's one factor. That's one factor of it. But
And I feel like that, with that, it does it does plays into one theory that I have, and I've heard Ryan Garcia, he has like he owes some people some money or whatever.
So he's a gambling man.
So he had to win big. He had to win big.
Him pulling that whatever stunt that he pulled doubled his betting line. Right? And I had Ryan Garcia in that fight at like plus 550, and I had him to drop Haney twice only because I felt that with a pressure fighter. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing. I didn't feel he would do good with a pressure fighter who can stay in his face and didn't really respect what was coming back at him.
Okay.
Because let's be honest.
Yeah.
In a straight boxing match, right? Like let's say sparring where we're not trying to kill each other. Devin Haney will box his face off 9 times out of 10. Right? He's technically a better boxer. But if you got a guy that doesn't respect power coming at you full force, who's got real one-punch power, that's how I thought that was going to play out, and that is how it played out.
But peep this though. Knowing that he has history with Haney, I do agree with your with what you're saying. How basically, if you go into a fight, it's different from sparring. You're going to go in there trying to take this guy's head off, and you feel like Haney may not be able to hurt Ryan Garcia or whatever. I feel like Ryan Garcia knows the history of them too, and he knows that he needed that extra advantage to be able to take a punch and throw a punch without basically getting them out of here. And I feel like that's why he doped up, because he's like, dude, here's my chances. If I know what this guy's going to bring, he's going to try to box my head off. But if I go in there straightforward and try to knock his head off and I'm heavier than him, I may have a chance of knocking him out.
I do agree with the heavier point, because you know what? If let's say I'm 5 pounds heavier than you, right? Go to the store and buy 5 pounds of steak. I got that muscle on you, right? If me and you got the same power, me and you go on a punching machine, but I show up 5 pounds heavier, I will punch harder than you.
Yeah.
Right? So as far as the Osterine thing, Osterine is the lowest of low-level steroids of all time. Right? It doesn't move in gyms. It's not something that is a common thing. I don't even think it would make sense for a boxer to use testosterone, right? Because when I was trying out for the 08 Olympic team in judo, the common thing was EPO. You know what EPO is?
No.
All right. EPO artificially inflates your body's ability to create red blood cells.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout your body. It carries nutrients to your muscles. So you recover like you wouldn't believe. You could do a 3-hour workout, go home, drink a Gatorade, eat 5 crackers, and go do it again. Right?
Yeah.
So EPO is common with boxers more than your typical, testosterone trend steroids. Because these guys fight for 36 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Guys fight for 36 minutes. So a guy who is going to punch as hard in minute 34 has a big advantage over the guy who's going to look like he's fought 12 rounds. Right?
Yeah.
So as far as that low amount of Osterine, the whole thing's weird, because he has you go clean 3 weeks before and then pop hot on the day of the fight, because VADA, right? VADA testing tests for masking agents, right? And Victor Conti, of all people, knows about masking agents.
Yeah.
Right? So what masking agents do is it creates like a bubble
So,
around a
but
steroid molecule.
here's the thing. Why would he put himself in that predicament where he gets caught last minute if he wasn't flushing and he wasn't masking the performance enhancing drugs? Why would he do something like that?
Like Vada would have caught maskers 1,000%. Because now here's the thing. I knew when my drug test was coming in 07, right? And Ryan used 3 masking agents. How do you know that?
Using multiple masking agents. Isn't smoking weed and doing other drugs like cocaine or whatever, isn't that considered like a masking agent? Reason why guys get popped for that too?
So Vada, if they took blood, right? If they took blood, they would be able to find masking agents. If it was just a standard 12-panel piss test, then that's a different story, right? If Vada took blood, you're not hiding masking agents. If it's just, he goes in the stall, takes his pants off, guys looking at him to make sure he's cheating. It's a SARM, banned substance in boxing. Period. Yeah, I get that part of it. I understand.
Okay, and I'm totally listening to your argument, but the reason why I believe it's an advantage, I feel like why Vada understands is an advantage as well, is because it's not only that he's taking Osterin, he got caught with Nandlone in the system as well. And then you also got to think about the opponent as well. You have a guy that he knows is dedicated to the sport, so he's gonna kill himself to make the fucking weight. But now I'm on a performance enhancing drugs that's gonna help me cut weight and retain muscle.
I didn't know about Nandrolone. I
Yeah,
didn't know about that. I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
yeah. See,
This is
they don't
different
report
now.
they don't report it as that. He got caught up with Nandrolone and Osterine, but
All
they try to say the levels for Nandrolone was low, so we're basically going to give him a pass on that.
All right. Nandrolone, that's a real steroid, right?
Exactly.
Nandrolone heals injuries like you wouldn't believe,
Yeah, I trust me. I know.
right? Nandrolone will make your bones denser. See, I didn't know about this. This is all new information. I thought this was like 0.00001 of Osterine. Like, I didn't know Nandrolone was involved.
Yeah, he was on both Nandrolone and Osterine, but after they ran the test again for the B side of the A, or the second test on the A sample, they said, oh well, the level was not high enough to basically put that on him. But still, everybody knows if you get a combination of both performance enhancing drugs in your system, you're definitely on some shit, and you're trying to hide it.
If you pop hot for Nandrolone, you're indestructible. You're indestructible in Nandrolone, which makes sense why when he hit him with that right hand, I don't care what anybody says. If Devin Haney sits on a right hand and punches you in your face, I promise you it's going to hurt.
I know there's a clip of Ryan Garcia getting caught with the left hook. He got caught with the left hook from Dev, and he started tapping his gloves.
I remember that left hook would have put a lot of people away. That was dead on his chin. He sat on it. He twisted his hips perfectly. That would have put him away, right? So I didn't know Nandrolone was part of this scenario. So with Nandrolone, you're talking about a guy's recovery capacity is through the roof, and his bones are harder, right? His bones are denser. He could recover. Any injuries that you picked up during training camp don't matter no more.
Exactly.
All right. So see, I didn't know this. Now my whole opinion on this whole situation is completely different.
Yeah, you see, and I know this stuff, and that's why the media is purposely not putting this information out. Not at all. Like they'll rather run with the story that Ryan Garcia. This is his story. His story is that Vada set him up. That's the last thing that he said of in 2025. Is basically he didn't say Vada. He said Haney. The Haneys basically set him up.
That just sounds stupid. What do you like? How do you even say that? Like, yeah. So the dude, Victor Conti, right? You familiar with his past?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Victor Conte and all that shit.
That's the OG of masking agents.
Hell yeah.
So here's something about that dude. Baseball players are allowed up to 2,500 NGL per milliliter of testosterone, right? He had guys running at 6,000 and they were only pissing for 2,500 or less, right? He's the king of masking agents. But if you put Devin, if now everyone's saying, I'm reading the chit chat that Devin Haney is now, because he's shredded, he's on steroids. I'm like, you're crazy. He would be knocking people out left and right with his skills.
Yeah,
So
they said because he has a gut.
Ryan Garcia.
It looks like he got a gut with 6-pack.
Yeah, no, Haney looks great, bro. He looks great. He's in great shape. Ryan Garcia on Nandlone showing up to a fight looking a little soft, but he looked huge, bro. It's like he looked muscular as hell. He never looks that big. Him being on Angelone changes the whole situation because now you have no fear because you're fighting who's technically not a power puncher, and you've been in the ring with him many rounds. You know if you get in his face, you could push him back and rattle him. And if you have the ability to not really get hurt, that's going to change the way you fight. Think about it, right? If you got into a boxing match and you knew you could not get hurt, you would fight, you would start swinging crazy. You would get in this guy's face like there was no business with no respect because you couldn't get hurt. And that's kind of what Ryan Garcia looked like in that fight, right or wrong.
Bro, and then Ryan Garcia being on that fucking Nandrolone.
Do you
think that shit helps his chin?
All right. So here's the thing with chin, right? You watch MMA at all?
Not often.
All right. You know who Nick Diaz is and his brother Nate Diaz?
Yeah, the dudes who smoking.
Yeah, the weed smoking dudes. All right.
Yeah.
So those guys were raw vegans for a very long time, right? So they're eating so many nutrients. The way a knockout works is you have fluid around your brain. You get punched in the head, your brain slaps against the back of your skull against that fluid. That's how you get knocked out, right? So the reason why those guys had the type of chin that they had is because of that particular diet. That fluid that around your brain is so much stronger and more well fed. It's like you could hit those guys with a car and they wouldn't get knocked out.
That's also how a lot of these guys be dying as well. If they're dehydrated and don't have that enough fluid around their brain.
Cutting weight is a very
that's why I'm like, man, I don't know if these guys should be cutting weight like that.
Cutting weight's a very dangerous thing. It's if you don't know what you're doing, you will have a bad Saturday night if you don't know what you're doing. So I don't know about affecting his chin, but I can tell you Angelone will affect the way you fight because you got no fear. You're the Terminator when you go in there.
Yeah, you heard him in the press conference. I'm strong. Yeah, that's when he was screaming in the press conference. I'm like, oh yeah.
He's already known.
I should have fucking known.
Yeah, but he's already a pressure fighter. He already got big power. Send him in there on some Angelone. The kid's gonna be a killing machine.
I'm strong.
Oh shit.
Okay. Strong. And I'm louder than that whole team. They got like 5 people there. Look how loud.
He was on that Nandlone talking about I'm strong.
Yeah, bro. Nandlone is a very real. But here's the thing. So now we could go back. To the Nandlone. If he's using Nandlone without testosterone, that's not going to work.
Look how loud.
You guys retarded.
Hold up.
This whole thing right now. That's how I'm firing. I'm strong. And I'm louder than that whole team. They got like 5 people there. Look how loud.
Bro.
We couldn't hear you, bitch.
Yeah.
After that press conference, his line went from plus 350 to plus 500. After that press conference, because everyone thought, because remember when he was drinking beers and shit? Right? So that betting line went through the roof after that press conference. So, but if you're running Nandlone, right, you can't use Nandlone by itself because it'll shut you down. You need to run testosterone with that. So
What about Ostarine? Can you run Ostarine with it?
yeah, but bro, Ostarine is complete dog shit. Like it doesn't do much. You know what I mean?
But
It doesn't do much.
when
Like
you're, when you're losing weight, though, it helps you if you're losing weight.
if what
Because I be in the gym, man. I know the difference between me cutting weight and how strong. Whenever I'm doing a lot of cardio, I lose a lot of
shit.
weight, and I'm not as strong as I was when I'm a lot heavier and I'm just lifting weights and get bulkier.
Of course, you feel like shit when you're cutting weight. There's no way around it.
So you're telling me if you're on a drug, I can take a drug that where I can still get smaller and be strong, still stacked. Nah, that's that's definitely a
Ostarine
plus.
is muscle sparing, right? It's like a half diuretic, half performance enhancer, right? But it's very weak, right? So, but you're talking about a boxer cutting weight. Yeah, Ostarine will work. Ostarine will work. It will help you suck out a few pounds, and you won't lose much power doing it. You know, but
And that's why, and then imagine that, and then you're going against a guy who's cutting weight the right way, and he's, saying still drained because he's a big guy.
yeah, Haney cuts a lot of weight, and he knows what he's doing.
So yeah, but I can't wait for this rematch, and I can't wait this
bro.
Friday.
What do you think about this weekend? I know you like Haney, but who else do you like?
No, I think Haney's gonna win. This Rolly Ryan fight, man. I think Ryan should pull it off just based off of Rolly having the worst defense.
Yeah,
but Ryan still has bad defense, and he keeps his head in the air. So,
bro, Rolly hits hard.
And Rolly hits hard. So, and then this guy Ryan hasn't fought in a year.
Yeah, hasn't fought in a year.
But Rolly's coming off of fights, even though he's been knocked out. He's been active.
Yeah, Rolly's been active. He's a big, strong dude. You don't want to.
And he doesn't have to struggle to cut weight because he's fighting at a higher weight class.
Haney's at 147, right?
They're fighting at 144.
144. I promise you, Haney's going to look a lot different. He's going to look a lot different. Him sucking out that extra weight, in my opinion, is hurting him.
Yeah,
I think it's hurting
so too.
I think
you can't. When I got older, I'm 30 now. I realized, like, man, it was a big difference between when I was like 17 and to like 23, 24, 25 to like 27 to 30. Man, I feel a lot stronger now as fucking in my 30s. Just turned 30. But
go ahead.
There's no way I could have made weight, can cut down to 135 or 147 now.
How much you weigh?
I am now. Right now we're at 168.
Bro, you would. How's your diet?
Not the best.
Not the best. So if you cleaned it up a little bit, you probably drop 5. You probably make 54.
No, I know I can definitely make 154 doing a lot of cardio and all that shit.
Yeah,
I'm not a naturally big guy at all. I'm actually pretty short. I'm not a naturally big guy. But my thing is I don't want to be small, because when I'm smaller, I feel like I'm a lot weaker. I'd rather be bigger.
Yeah,
I'm not a professional boxer, so
I truly think that was the mistake I made when I was fighting. I was weighing about 192, fighting at 170. Knowing what I know now, I should have got bigger and fought at 85 and been the faster guy.
Yeah.
No.
But I ain't no boxer though, so I'm not really tripping on that. But when it comes to the boxers, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia moving up in weight, I think it is good for both of them moving up in weight. They don't have to struggle to make weight, and there'll be no excuse to take drugs. You can't blame it on the weight.
Cutting weight is a lot different in MMA than it is in boxing, because it's a 36-minute fight. It's a lot different. MMA guys go 15 minutes, right? So a boxer benefits more from doing longer, slower road work, right? Guys that are running 5-8 miles a day, 8-9 minute pace. That's what works for boxers, because of the amount of time they have to fight. Yeah. MMA guys are going in for 15 minutes, 25 in a title fight. Sprinting makes more sense for them.
Yeah, I would see.
You know, sprinting makes more sense for those guys. So I was more of a uphill sprinter when I
I
was
could
fighting.
do that UFC shit, man. Nigga, if somebody try to hit me with a fucking kick, I don't even know how I react to that.
You know what it is, bro. I've been saying this for a long time. It's two completely different sports. There's nothing in common except people getting hit in the face. That's it.
So you don't think a boxer will be able to get over on a UFC guy in the street fight? Let's be real. We're talking about
All right,
close
so
range.
I'll give you this.
You know, not.
I'll give you this. Right. Let's say it's me and you, right, in a street fight. Now, the second you get in your stance, I'm gonna know this guy boxes. So I'm not gonna get close to you. I'm gonna kick you.
But what if you have to get close because we're in a close environment?
If we're in a close environment, first
that
thing I'm
jab's gonna land first. That's what I'm saying. In boxing,
for your legs.
That jab, pop, you just pop that out real quick.
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw up a high guard and close that distance and get right on you, chest to chest, and we'll fight like that. Because there is no boxer, there is no MMA guy that'll ever walk into a boxing ring and ever look good. It'll never happen. There is no boxer that'll walk into a cage and look good.
Okay,
It'll never happen.
Let's say this. There's Mike Tyson bumps into fucking John Jones, prime Mike Tyson in the 80s. Bumps into prime John Jones in the street fight. What you thinking? Who you got on?
John Jones got the best fight IQ I've ever seen. That guy could switch his style. He's the best fighter, MMA fighter that's ever lived. He would
over
not.
Mike?
John Jones, no, best MMA fighter that ever lived. John.
I'm talking
by
about
far
in a street fight.
If they're in the street and it's open, John Jones is not going to get anywhere near him. He's going to kick his knee out of place.
Okay.
He's not going to get anywhere near him. They're not even going to get. Mike Tyson's not going to get close enough to punch him. You know, like that's how that would work.
Said Mike Strong. Mike would have fucking slapped his ass. Now imagine Mike Tyson, big ass Mike Tyson, ground and pounding you.
If that guy fought MMA, that would be the scariest man on earth. Like if he learned how to wrestle a little bit and block a kick, who's beating him?
Man, if you get hit by Mike Tyson fucking looping left hook in a street fight, barefisted, you're going to sleep.
You're dead.
You're going to sleep.
You're bouncing. He's bouncing your head off the floor. That's it. You know, like a guy like John Jones is smart. Yeah, see, John Jones likes to poke guys.
I think he would need some space. John Jones would need a lot of space.
Absolutely, he would Tyson. Not. There is no way he would survive getting up close with Mike Tyson. The only thing that he could do is because of the height. It's called the tie plum. Like if I get both my hands on the back of your head and start pulling your head down. Right? It's called a Muay Thai plum. Started throwing some knees. Just put Mike in a situation he's never been in. That's all he could do because two men standing up in front of each other with their fists up, that's Mike Tyson's world. You know, he would have to put him in a situation he's never been in, like a clinch, wrapped up on one of his legs, something like that. Or straight kicking distance. There's no man on earth that's going to fight in a phone booth with Mike Tyson and walk out.
Okay, Mike Tyson versus the the John Jones that fought Daniel Cormier, whatever his name is, the first time.
That was
in the octagon. I think Mike Tyson will beat him.
See, all right, how about this? That's a perfect fight. That's a perfect fight, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Dan Cormier is 5'10", 5'9", something like that. Now,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely.
When they were up close in the clinch, Cormier was beating the shit out of him. Cormier was like, watch that fight again if you can tonight. Every time they tied up and John Jones couldn't fight at a distance, Cormier would wrap his left hand around his head and just start ripping uppercuts, and Jones wanted nothing to do with it. He ran away from him. Like that's a good comparison right there.
Okay, what about Nate Diaz versus Terence Crawford?
Terence Crawford might kill him. Because here's the thing with those Diaz guys, they're not good boxers. They just overwhelm you with volume, and they're hard to knock out. Like anytime Nate Diaz fought a crisp kickboxer, like a guy that knew what he was doing and could control the distance, he got the shit beat out of him. You also like Nate Diaz versus Terence Crawford. I don't even think I would spend $10 to watch that. Because Terence Crawford would just fuck him up. What do you think about Crawford and Canelo? How do you think that's going to go?
Oh yeah, with that fight, man. I think Crawford might beat his ass, man. I really do. But here's the thing, though. I think about that fast ass left hook that Canelo hit Berlanga with, and Berlanga's a big dude,
Yes.
and he made Berlanga just fall like
Bro,
crumble. But Berlanga still got it. But I'm thinking to myself, man, Crawford being a smaller guy, he gets hit with something the same shot like that. I don't know. I think Crawford will be winning the fight on cards, and then Canelo just throw that shit
crack him.
crack him.
Bro, so I met Berlanga a bunch of times because he's local. He comes. There's a couple good Staten Island gyms, Park Hill Boxing Club, DeMarco's that he showed up, and I seen him a few times. I'm 5'10", 200 pounds, bro. He's not much smaller than me. He's a big boy. He's not much smaller than me. You know what I mean? But he gets pudgy in between fights.
So like Khan was beating Canelo, and then he just got cracked.
Bro, Amir Khan, skill-wise, was elite. You know what I mean? Like that, you can't deny that.
I think Crawford's going there to box and bang because if he signed up for that fight, if Canelo agreed for that fight, that ring's going to be small as shit.
Of course it is. Of course it is. He's not going to give. Yeah, he's not going to give Crawford a chance to move around because he knows he'll never find him. And Crawford is one of the most patient, sit back, figure out what I'm doing guys in boxing.
Yep, you give Crawford enough time to sit on the outside and then figure you out, you're done.
He's going to hurt you. He's going to hurt. Terence Crawford's amazing.
Yeah, I rate Terence Crawford as the best fighter in the world. I don't care what Ring Magazine and nobody says about who's the best and all that. I don't care. I'm looking off what I see in the ring and what against top competition. What are these guys able to do? And Bud showed the same fighter every fight that he's just separates himself from this competition.
I made a lot of money on him versus that Errol Spence fight.
Man, good thing I didn't bet on that fight, but I still made money drawing the illustrations for the fight.
Good for you, bro. Good for you. Even better. You didn't have to sweat it out. Even better.
Yeah, after that Wilder versus Fury 3, I told myself I'm never betting that type of money on fights again.
Yeah.
I can't trust athletes because one day an athlete, we might think an athlete's gonna go in there doing something, and then he might show up sick. He might have a fucking stomach bug or something.
You don't know.
He might just, not show up.
What do you think about Lopez?
Who expect Errol Spence to look like that against Bud?
Nobody. I didn't expect him to look as slow as he did. That was the thing for me. Like I was like, all right.
That's what I said, man. Yes. I literally said that yesterday live stream. I said Errol Spence, when he threw that first jab slow, I knew he was going to lose that fight based off of how slow it was.
He looked very slow. I know 147 was new for him. I know he didn't. I feel like he hasn't been active enough since that car crash that really fucked him up. I feel like he hasn't been active enough to get in there with someone like Crawford. That's what I think. I would have liked to see a better fight out of Spence, like maybe get a fight or two before he took that one. But listen, he put his balls on the line and he lost at the end. What do you think about Lopez and Barboza?
What about what?
Lopez and Barboza.
I don't know. I really don't know how to call that fight for real. I really don't. Because I don't rate Barboza high.
No.
But I don't rate Tio high either. But
I think
I know Barboza's going to throw more punches than Tio, which means he's going to be open to more counters. And Tio's strong. So, in my eyes, this fight is really a 50-50.
So, all right. So, from a betting standpoint, if you think it's a true 50-50 fight, Barboza's plus 190 on the money line right now.
I bet on Tio by robbery.
I agree. I feel like the powers that be want Lopez in bigger fights.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fun fight though, because Barboza will probably get dropped, but Barboza will probably steal more rounds.
I can't wait for this weekend. This is a good
Not
fucking
even this
fight
weekend.
card.
This. It's fucking Friday, man. That shit's crazy.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I've been waiting for this card for months.
Man, I hope Haney go in there and look good. I don't want him to look crazy, but this is boxing. Anything can happen.
I can't see him. I can't see him looking bad. I can't see him looking bad. He knows that. He knows he has to look good this weekend. Right? Because at the end of the day, everyone's posting the clips of Garcia fucking him up, blah blah blah. He knows he's got to look good this weekend.
He
Or
has to tap into his old self because this guy, he won a fight with a jab alone. The undisputed titles with a jab alone. You got to show that, tap back into that skill set. But I feel like what he's doing with Nate Jones, the guy he used to work with Floyd Mayweather. I feel like he got Devin Haney right, because I'm seeing him working on Devin Haney throwing a punch, but then he's keeping his hand up, and he's catching and shooting and shit like that. So yeah, I like that.
I would love to see Haney because his jab is so good. I would love to see Haney come out with a pull counter like what Mayweather had. It would be a work of art if he would fire off a double jab, slip back, and bang with the right hand. That would be great.
Oh yeah, like Floyd Mayweather hit him with the step back and.
Yeah, man. If Haney could develop a pull counter, it'll change his game completely.
Yeah.
And he could get out of there. He could use his footwork, do what he does, but he would get a little more respect because he would start hitting people with right hands.
He got a good right hand too, though. He dropped Regis with that. It was right on the money.
And like Regis is not a hard guy. He's not easy to drop. He hasn't been dropped many times at all. Like granted, his skills aren't there, but the chin is still there. He's still tough. But I just got back.
Do you think Ramirez? Do you think Ramirez?
I think Ramirez is going to look. I think Ramirez is going to look very stupid on Saturday.
Damn.
I think he's going to look. I think he's going to look very stupid on Saturday. I think Devin Haney's going to embarrass the living shit out of him. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's why I say he got to pay for Ryan's sins.
Yeah, I think Devin Haney's going to make him very, very stupid because there's a lot of fights for all these guys.
Oh yeah.
They set this card up because all these guys could fight each other. Like let's say Raleigh looks good, right?
He said what? We'll say Rolly looks good.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of big fights that can come out of this card, but I think Haney's probably going to look the best out of everybody on Saturday night.
What do you think was going to happen in the Ryan Rolly fight?
I think that I want to see how Garcia fights, because like I don't think the way he fought Haney is how he's going to fight Romero, because he'd be stupid to do so. Like he has to show some actual boxing skills versus Rob.
I think people are expecting that though.
Bro, I don't think that's how that fight would work for him, because
he's gonna try to box. He's gonna try to box.
You said it earlier. Garcia gets hit, and he does, and I promise you that's not the guy you want hitting you. The skills aren't there. Like Rolly's skills aren't there, and Garcia's gonna have to box. Like if he steps in and catches him, all right, good for you. But he doesn't want to stand in the middle and get into a brawl with Romero. That's not gonna work out for him.
Rolly got to know they're betting against him, even the host.
I mean, the way his career is working out, it's like he's gonna be like the Sean Porter type, big puncher, but will lose versus a better boxer.
Not even, because Sean Porter ain't never got knocked out like that.
Not like that. You know what I mean? And Terence Crawford did it to him, but Terence Crawford is light years ahead of these guys.
No, I think I don't know, man. Rolly, he is active, and you can't really go against a fighter who's active. We just seen that with what's his name? What's that guy named? McCauley. You can't fight a guy like Joseph Parker who's active. And I'm
Yes.
not comparing Rolly to Joseph Parker, but I'm saying like he's active. Somebody who's been fighting constantly. You can't just say, "Oh, I haven't fought in a while, but I'm about to jump right back in there."
You
But
know,
you know, man, it is what it is.
and I feel like not his last fight, that new coach I was working with, I can't remember his name, but he showed a few things that I think looked all right. You know what I mean? He was standing behind his jab. He was moving around a little bit better. So who knows what he's going to look like, bro? But I tell you this, I can't wait for it. But yo, bro, I'm gonna jump in the shower. I just got home from the gym, bro. It's been a
All
pleasure.
right, bet. Good chat with you, bro.
Later, brother.
Yep. Hell yeah. You see, niggas didn't even know Ryan was on that Angelone because they don't even post that shit like that. They let them tell it he was just on Osterine. Nah, that nigga was on Angelone and that shit, bro. If I do KB, you say what y'all do. You say what y'all nigga, I ain't do shit. Dog, all I did was just go on the timeline and I see niggas just like talking about niggas need a loan and shit. Damn. Ryan need to come help they man. So you tell me this niggas he doing all that cooning for free? That niggas need loans. Oh man. I wish I can give him a loan here over here at Artband Apparel. But you know, Artband Apparel, we don't support cooning over here. We don't, man. So you know what I'm saying? So you can't get a loan from us over here either. So don't even come around here. I said, need some change, Lord. Bro, I ain't never been, bro. And I swear I ain't talking like I'm some type of rich ass nigga or nothing like that. But man, I ain't never been down bad like that where I needed to ask niggas on Twitter for nah, nah. I can show them the way though. When Nipsey say I can show you niggas how I came up, I can show these niggas how to do this shit, man. How to make money while being on Twitter. Because these niggas be on Twitter just cooning and all that. Nah, you gotta have product, man. You gotta have talent, man. You gotta have something. I came to Twitter with product. These niggas started Twitter just to be, you know what I'm saying, bullshitted. And it ain't nothing wrong with just being on Twitter just to talk your shit. But this guy spent all his days hating on Devin Haney and Bill, making memes and all this shit for free, bro. And it's just sad, like, bro, how are you in this position? And you spend your days hating on these niggas, man. You should been asking these niggas for a job. Said even if I wouldn't ask for a man for nothing. For nothing. I'm telling you, times be hard out here, but you gotta figure it out. You have to figure it out. You got no choice but to figure it out. That's what I did. Let me tell y'all some shit, some real shit. I lived in Texas from like 15 to like 20. And then shit, my last couple days in Texas, or my last year in Texas, wasn't going so good with me financially. So I'm like, man, and all my family was in Minnesota. So I'm like, man, I can't be down and out, you know, not by my family. So let me figure it out. So man, I ended up coming to Minnesota, and I didn't have nothing. I didn't have nothing. I didn't even have my fucking diploma or anything like that. But I wasn't no dummy or anything like that. I just left school to start hustling because I was making more money hustling. But man, I was like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna turn my life around. I ain't gonna be no bullshit ass bum ass nigga. I'm gonna figure it out. And that's exactly what I did. I ended up getting my education, end up learning some shit. I sacrificed some years out of my life just to fucking get a trade in healthcare, right? So I'm like, okay, let me get my education. And then while doing that, I'm like, you know, I got this good talent of making art. Let me just get back to doing that because I'm good at that. Next thing you know, I start selling all these shirts and people hit me up every fucking week and month, hit me up for some artwork, t-shirts and all that. But it's like, as a man, you gotta do something, man. I was in a situation where I was asked out and I still was able to say, you know what? I can't blame nobody but myself. I'm gonna figure it out as a man. And now I'm in a situation where I'm working from the crib. Literally just got off of work. I'm working from the crib. Clocked out my healthcare job. Rolled up a joint. I'm over here talking to y'all for an extra little YouTube check. He'll say just a little YouTube check that's just extra. Just because as a man, you got to be doing something, something. If you don't have money today, you better have money. Better be doing something where you're gonna have money tomorrow, or it's coming up. It's coming. Money's coming. Always coming. Straight up. Because this world do not have no sympathy for niggas. Niggas, it's so hard out here. Niggas want to ask niggas for loans and shit, boy. Nigga, what you need to do, get off of Twitter and start getting on your shit, man. For real. Trust me, if my shit wouldn't get, I would not be on Twitter for real. Real shit. Niggas spend their days hating on niggas and they sons. Like, bro, what? What? Bro, I've, ne- I'm telling you, bro, I was in a situation where at one point, I was homeless at one point, but it wasn't like I was just like damn super assed out. I was homeless because my mom was not in the state and my pops wasn't, he wasn't around. He had his own situation going on, but not saying that he wasn't in my life or anything like that, because he was. But he just had his own thing going on, and I was grown. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to go, saying live with my pops. So I got to figure it out. I ended up living with my sister or whatever, live with my sister for a little bit. But I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this is an ugly situation. I got to figure it out. Man, my sister ended up putting me out within like a month. And I'm telling you right now, I wasn't on some like, oh my God, how can you do me like this? Why'd you put me out? Nah, I was not on no mad ass shit. I was on some like, how did I put myself in this predicament? How can I get myself out of this predicament? I'm to blame for this situation. Nobody else. Nobody put me in this situation but me. So how do I get myself out of this situation? And I was able to fucking get myself out of that fucking situation as a man. Like, so when niggas be like, asking niggas on Twitter for a loan, I'm just looking at this shit like, man, what? I can see something tragic in your life happening and you asking for loans and shit like that. But it's just some like, nah. Says salute to you. Nah, real shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be on no just cocky shit. On some just real humble shit. Like, man, as a man, you gotta learn how to get it. And I say this shit to any young dude coming up. Like, man, you should be working. If you got legs, arms, breathe, you can breathe. You don't got no crazy health disabilities, nigga. And you ain't got no kids. And even if you got kids, nigga, your ass need to be working. You should spend every day, every hour working, straight up, figuring out how to save money. How can I make this money? Because even if you working at McDonald's, nigga, if you working at McDonald's all these hours and you selling a little something on the side, you do a little something on the side, and you put that money together, nigga, you could make that shit stack and do something with it. For real, for real. Instead of being out here on Twitter. No, go ask that nigga, man. Go ask them, man. I'm just talking, man. I'm just talking, man. I'm just saying, man. For niggas in general, if you just running your mouth on Twitter, man, at least get some change off of this shit, bro. But yeah, Devin Haney, you looking strong, man. I can't wait to see my dude Devin Haney go out there and perform, bro. Glad to see the young man back. Niggas want him at the house eating Popeye's chicken, fat and depressed. But instead, the nigga in the gym working hard. Nah, that's just crazy though. On some real shit. That's just funny as hell. Ah, it is what it is, man. I just can't wait to see a good fight though. I can't wait to see a good fight. I feel like a casual though. I really do feel like a casual because I was at the crib and I'm just like, hold on, May 2nd, May 2nd. I just really started thinking about May 2nd. I'm like, hold on, May 2nd, man, that's Friday. And the whole time I'm like, hold on, I thought Devin Haney and them niggas, I thought they fought on fucking Saturday. But anyways, artbandapparel.com, best boxing merch in the game.